that the festival paid for was very close to the bus station, and we were maybe 4 or 5 blocks from the Croisette. And so when we walked to the Croisette, we felt like, okay, here's the real thing. Here's the real festival. But that it was kind of a great three-ring circus. It was at that time, and I think still, such an interesting mix of commercial and artistic, for want of a better word. So there were, filmmakers I had heard of and had never even gotten to see one of their films because they never played in the United States. And then there were things like, great big James Bond legs, hanging around, and the Selkins had a movie there, and there was a lot of big finance happening, and photographers hanging out on the beach. I learned that most people don't swim in the water there, even though I brought my bathing suit, and I think I was one of the few who ever, went in and swam and didn't get an infection. But they were all waiting for girls in bikinis, and nobody took any picture of me. I do think it was interesting to be in that part of the festival because it was so eclectic, because there wasn't really a theme. It was just, okay, here are the people who are choosing this year, and here are some movies that they think are interesting. My former assistant, Karin Kasama, maybe 20, 25 years later, was in that section with Girl Fight, which was interesting, that she had been somebody who came to me as a film student and worked for me, and then got to make her first movie and got in the festival with that. And I think the other thing that was interesting is that it was really one of the first of the truly international film festivals that we'd been to. So there really were movies and people from all over the globe. I remember we met Vincent Ward from New Zealand, and I don't think he had found anybody else who spoke English, so he tagged around with us for a while. It was really a lot of fun. I mean, it was the amount of work, because it wasn't in the official selection, was not as much as it had been later when we were in the Cannes or the official selection, where you might have 25, 35 interviews in a day. We might have 5, and then the rest of the day to walk around. I think we actually went to a couple films, which was really exciting. And I do remember having one lunch on the beach and wanting to make a movie where you followed the camera from this very beautifully presented lunch and everybody eating back into the kitchen, where it must be total chaos, because they try to do those lunches in 1 hour and a lot of people come and go, but it has to be kind of very canned and very proper on the outside. As the movie business changes and the kind of landscape for independent filmmakers shrinks, pretty much every movie we're reinventing the wheel, and so we have gone back in many cases. We don't expect, having made a whole bunch of films doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to be in competition or you're always even going to be invited. So every movie we make is a new adventure. And yeah, I like making movies. It's a great thing to get to do. I mean, I'm very lucky, to have gotten to make as many as I have. And so sure, there's a few things I would do differently. I would pack better. But yeah, absolutely.